If it's broken, don't just ditch it. Call our dad and he will fix it. It only takes a little bit. Hurry, dad, and fix our...
Hey, watch your mouth. Alright guys, on this episode of Dad Fixes, we're going to go over how to mod a PSP. And this is going to be from any version from the 1000 to the Go. I've had a couple of guys that have asked me recently how to do this. I've got a JCA U99. He lives close by. I've done several for him. I think this is actually the one you see in this video is actually one that I'm doing for him. Hopefully he'll take the hint and do it himself from now on. I'm just kidding. I don't mind at all. I get no appreciation for it. He doesn't tag me in any videos and say I did it for him, but I do them for him, and I'm tired of not getting any love for it. Anyway, so we're going to go how to do this from start to finish. I'm going to do it with you. We're not going to cut anything or speed anything up, so you see exactly the process. But first, I'm going to give you a link down at the bottom. You're going to download the exact file that I'm working with. I'll put it together for you. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to pause this, and we're going to take off, and we'll go from there. This should be the file that you have now that you've downloaded, the psp.rar. And what we're going to do is extract it. If you try to mess with this file and you can't do anything with it, you need to go to winrar.com and download WinRAR. It's WINRAR.com and just download any of them. But once you extract this, it's going to give you a PSP folder. And inside this PSP folder, there's going to be 3 more files that we need. Pro, Update, and PSP ident. Let's move this out of the way so we're not looking at it. Once we get these 3 up, we're going to do the same thing with these as we did the other. Extract files. Okay. Extract files. Okay. Extract files. Okay. Same thing. It's real easy stuff. As soon as we get those extracted, let's go ahead and delete these as well. Let's get them out of the way. As long as you save the PSP RAR file right here, you'll always be able to get these files back. Let's get these 3 over here to have them a little bit easier to work with. I'm going to grab the PSP memory card and we'll go over how to get it connected to the PC and get these files on there. Alright, so now you've got 2 options to get these files over to your PSP memory card. You can either take the memory card out and use a memory card reader, or you can just hook your PSP up with a USB cable to the PC. If you do before you do anything, let's go ahead and, if it's a new memory card, and format it within the system so you'll have the right file structure. So, as you see, when we put it in, it's going to come up, open files and folders, and we got to get the update in there first. And the update is going to be in PSP Game Update. So on the memory card, go to Game, and just drag this update folder over and let it copy. It just takes just a couple of seconds. We'll get that in there, and then we'll get the other 2 files over as well. I'm going to do the same with PSP ident. Let's open it up and get PSP ident. Put it in the same folder. Already had it in this one, so we'll get it copied over. And then the very last one is going to be the actual mod itself, the Pro C2. Now this one is going to be in different parts, so what we're going to do is go back to the beginning to where you just have the PSP folder, and you're going to drag the SDK and the SE plugins, and we're going to copy those in there. And then inside the PSP itself, you're going to have Pro Update, Fast Recovery, and CIPL Flasher. Now those are going to go into PSP Game. And once you get those copied over, that's going to be all the file structure we need. Everything's where it's supposed to be, and this memory card's ready to go into the PSP. So I'm going to stop here. We'll get back together. I'm going to have the PSP in the memory card into the PSP, and we're going to go mod it, in real time and see exactly how long it takes, and we'll do it from there. Okay, now that we've got all the files on here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Game and Memory Stick. And there's going to be a PSP update version 6.60. Going to hit X. And we're going to update this thing. Now this is going to take a couple of seconds. Don't freak out if the screen goes black like this one just did. Sometimes it's searching, it's checking the battery, it's doing all that stuff. You'll see that the memory card will still be flashing. This is the standard Sony update, so this is nothing to worry about. It should boot up with a white screen that asks you to accept. But I want to do this in real time because sometimes people get upset when it gets this part. Okay. Now this says PSP System Software version 6.60 start. X. And then it's going to ask us to accept. We accept the license agreement. And then it's going to hit X to start. And then it's going to say installing. Do not turn off the power, disconnect the AC adapter, remove the battery, yada 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 yada. And again, I want to do this in real time because I've had people before I've been helping out over the phone or on the internet. They're like, oh no, it's been black for 6 seconds. I don't know what to do. It's fine. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, but we're gonna do this together. I'm gonna hold your hand, and we're gonna become really good friends as we mod this PSP together. Alright, update is complete, so we're going to, and you see it really didn't take that long, but like I said, I want to do this in real time, so we're doing it together. We're going to reboot, and it should come up and be in 6.60, and if it is, we're able to take it just a little bit further now. I always double check when I update these things, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to Settings, and System Settings, and just scroll down to System Information. Hit X, and that's going to tell you we're on a version 6.60, so we are where we need to be. Alright, we're going to go to the game folder this time, and we're going to look at this Pro, the Fast Recovery, and the Pro update. So we're going to do the Pro update real quick. And this says Pro C, hold L to reinstall custom firmware, press triangle to install custom, okay, press X to launch the custom firmware. So what we're going to do first is launch it. Alright, then we're going to start it. It's going to reboot into Pro C. And then again, we're just going to check and make sure that we did boot into the custom firmware. We're going to go to System Settings, System Information. Now we're on Pro C2. I'm back out of this. Now comes the important part. We're going to go to Game and Memory Stick. That little program we put on here that's called PSP ident. We're going to run this. And we're going to see if we got to run Fast Recovery every time, or if we're going to be able to hard mod this thing so we never have to run it once we do it. So my guess with it being a slim is we're going to have to. Let's see what it says here. Okay, battery EEPROM access read only. It says motherboard. It says possible custom firmware 5.03 hen and up. So, alright, so because it said PSP hen, that means it can't be done like that every time. So what we'll have to do every time we boot this thing up, or we turn it all the way off and then boot it right back up, is we'll have to use the custom recovery. And that's going to be the only thing that's different is the PSP, not the PSP update, but the fast recovery. We're going to have to hit that every time there's a hard reboot of this system. And then once we get That's the only difference. If it was a 1000 or some of the earlier Slims, you would be able to do that CIPL flasher, and you would do it where you wouldn't have to have fast recovery. Now, if it says that it is able to do that, what you'll do, you'll go one more step and run the CIPL flasher. But only if it doesn't say hen. If it says hen and you try to do it, you will break your PSP. Alright, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and clean some of this stuff up. Let's get rid of the PSP update, because we're not going to use that anymore. Let's get rid of the CIPL flasher, especially if you're on a hen model. You don't want to take a chance and somebody else pick it up and accidentally run this program. They'd have to go through extra steps to do it, but it's still not worth it. And then the update, you can get rid of that. Let's clean those off. And then now what we'll do is we're going to check this out. PSP ident you can delete as well. And now we're just going to check it out and make sure that things are working like the Nintendo emulator. And again, if you look, I'm not going to put links to the emulators and stuff up here, but you can go online and look and see and just do NES PSP emulator. It'll go into PSP game, and then you'll copy your ROMs into that folder. And that should do it. And when I hit this, we should be playing. There you go. So now I can walk around with all my NES games in my pocket. So basically, you can just walk around with a complete NES, Game Boy Advance, SNES collection, or as many as you own that you're legally allowed to have a copy of. Well, that was it, guys. I think we probably came in right around 10 minutes, right up under 10 minutes, and some of that was actually showing you how it works. So you should be able to go from start to finish if you follow this video with it, even with pausing in about 15 minutes from a stock PSP to a modded one. Anyway, until next time, we've actually JCA U99, excuse me, aka Big Fat Nipples. He's gave us a Wii too, so next week's episode is going to be us showing you how to use the letter bomb to mod the Wii. Until next time, thanks guys.